What's going on, GemMint's? It's your boy GemMint, and the new comic book day reviews are back. Today is Wednesday, May 27th, but the video is going to come out on Thursday because Memorial Day messed up the shipping. But after this, every week, we're going to be back on track with new comic book day reviews on Wednesday. This is the first day that Diamond is now shipping comics again since the pandemic started. DC did go another route, so some of the books in this haul were DC releases from like last week and maybe even the week prior, but it didn't feel like enough to really do a whole video for. So this is the epic return of the new comic book day reviews. Before we get started, I want you guys to subscribe to the channel. We hit 80,000 subscribers since we've done these reviews, so thank you to everybody who's watching. We are doing a giveaway this Sunday for the MCU Phase 2 box set. So hit that subscribe. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you're made aware every time we release videos, although YouTube doesn't like to really send out those emails promptly. We drop videos every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern, except for Sundays when we do live streams. It could be a little bit later in the day. Also, this video is sponsored by ThatSpidermanBooth.com. They do $30 mystery boxes, and you can save $10 by using the code GemMint at checkout. Each box, you're guaranteed 5 comics of retail value, but one of those boxes is going to contain this amazing Spider-Man 301. This is the rare Toy Biz reprint. It's graded at a 9.8 by CGC, and it's signed by Todd McFarlane and David Michelini. Super rare book. This is the giveaway prize in one of those boxes, and this mystery box will last until this Saturday, so jump in now if you want a chance at that book. With no further delays, since we've been delayed for about a month, let's jump into the reviews. This is the only one that I read digitally because the kind folks over at Image Comics send us the advanced PDFs, but I'm reading this 20XX. This is issue number 4, and this is the Jonathan Luna run, the Lauren Keeley run. And I really like this. It kind of feels like reading a manga because it's black and white. Jonathan Luna's art style is very much like reading something like Death Note, or not as detailed as Berserk, but it has a manga vibe. Except it's kind of like people with mutant powers. Not as flashy as something like the X-Men, but it feels like this issue 4 is kind of bringing an arc to a close with the main character Myrrh, with her cousin who got her in all kinds of stuff. It seems like there's no more secrets on the table for Myrrh, and we're going to get a fresh start in issue 5. But it's something that I'll continue to read because I am digging 20XX. Another indie. This is from Boom Studios. This is by W. Maxwell Prince and by Tyler and Hilary Jenkins. King of Nowhere issue 2. This is kind of a trippy book, man. It's kind of like, is our main character in a dream? He's in this place called Nowhere. It's kind of described as this place that's kind of like off of the map of the world. And there's all kind of weird creatures there. Creatures with fish heads, people with 2 heads, people with upside down heads. And it seems like there's some killer, serial killer type of guy who has infiltrated this city or this place. And he's killing people with a nail gun. So there's kind of like a what's going on aspect. It's only issue 2, so we don't know much more than that. But it's doing enough for me to keep reading it. Oh crap, I almost forgot. So I don't collect Funko Pops anymore, but they had this amazing Spider-Man 316 homage diorama, Venom vs. Spider-Man. I had to pick this up. It was like $35. And let's bust it open real quick. All right, here we go. Actually, it's got some decent weight to it. Just all one piece, not a bobblehead. You have Funko version of ASM 316. I figured it would be something cool for the set to kind of put on the back of the calyx there next to other little ones. I have a Thanos one like this, so I thought it was pretty cool. Got a little bit of an impulse buy for me. All right, let's jump over to the Marvel stuff. This is the Star Wars Dr. Aphra issue 1. I was kind of excited for this. I really like Dr. Aphra and the Vader Down stuff. I read it in the Vader Omnibus. Maybe not Vader Down. I think it was just in the Darth Vader run. This issue was so boring, man. I didn't even read the whole thing. Like about 3/4 of the way through, I'm like, what is even happening here? It was so boring. I'm sorry, guys, over at Marvel. I wasn't digging this. I don't think I'm going to continue reading Dr. Aphra. You know what I think is missing? I think when Dr. Aphra first came out, she had like that evil C-3PO, and he's gone out of here. They still have that evil Wookiee guy. But she's kind of lost her edge, and they even kind of tease that. One of the characters teases her about that in here. She lost her edge. She's not as snarky. She's not as... Well, she's still a little bit double-crossing, but I don't know. She just feels kind of like they nerfed her a little bit. All right, over to Dawn of X, we got Jerry Dugan with Marauders issue 10. Now, guys, you know, these are spoiler-free reviews, but in the previous issue, I think it's important to know that Kate Pryde, as she's known now, she was assassinated. Now, there's this problem because Kate can't go through the Krakoan portals. Ironically, the mutant that can phase through anything can't go through the portal. It's unclear on whether they're going to be able to resurrect her in the same way that they do all the other mutants. So that was kind of the cliffhanger from the previous issue. Guys, it's over a month old. Don't tell me that it's spoiled. So in this issue, that's kind of lingering in the background. That's not really the main story here. The main story is basically kind of like a side quest, right? So somebody has stolen Forge, his old technology on mutant dampener. So basically they're attacking this Russian ship in order to secure the tech, right? So kind of nothing to do with that, but the ending kind of delves deep into what's going to happen with Kate Pryde. Pretty cool fight scene between Iceman and this ship of these Russian kind of bad guys. Emma Frost doing her Emma Frost thing. You guys know what I'm talking about if you saw it. So it was an enjoyable issue. All right, we got the Donny Cates and Mark Bagley, Venom 25. This is the epilogue of the Venom Island storyline. You're kind of getting this story told through Eddie Brock, who is kind of like in confessional, right? He's confessing to somebody. We don't know who it is. I mean, we find out at the end, but I'm not going to spoil it. So that's how we get like what happened between that final battle when Eddie Brock was taken over by the Carnage symbiote and Dylan Brock was remote piloting the Venom symbiote as the Venomsaurus Rex, or that Venom T-Rex, which was pretty cool, and it was very cool here as well. So I thought it was a nice wrap-up to Venom Island. It looks like we're going to get back on track to where this run was going before Absolute Carnage and before Venom Island, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Moving over to DC, and it's going to be the first of many little mini-series that ended. This one in just the regular DC universe. However, I guess, it's an Elseworlds tale with this DC Killables, issue 3 out of 3. Who was the team on this? Taylor, Mosert, Scott, Edwards, and Lucas. So, this was a fun run, right? I think the original DCeased run was really fun. The Killables was kind of like this concept that all the heroes have been zombified and they're bad, so only the bad guys are left to save the day. You get this kind of touching story of Deathstroke and company, like, who do you have? Cheetah. Who else are the bad guys here? I don't know. They're trying to protect this group of kids, and they're training them to be able to fend for themselves while they're looking for like this saving grace type of place. Unfortunately, you have the zombified version of Mirror Master, of Wonder Woman, that keep getting in their way. Super bloody. When it's Elseworlds and anybody could die at any time, it's super exciting. So I really enjoyed this kind of mini-series follow-up to DC's. We're going to start with Black Label, but before we get to Hill House, because I think that's all the other books, we're going to talk issue 4 on this Joker Harley Criminal Sanity. I think Mike Mayhew was on this, and the art style flips between a black and white to a modern look, and he was doing the modern realism. And I think the book suffers a little bit without his touch because he was killing it, man. But otherwise, this book, it doesn't feel like Harley, right? And it doesn't feel like Joker. It's almost like Jared Leto Joker, his origins almost. But we're not really sure if he is this like super genius serial killer who like puts his victims on display in these like museum-esque poses and such. But it feels like you're watching like SVU, Law and Order, or one of those type of cop shows. Harley is not Harley Quinn. She's definitely still this homicide detective. So it is enjoyable, but it could have been any character really besides Harley and Joker. Although we do get some kind of glimpse of comic booky stuff at the end. So I'm still digging it. All right, Daphne Byrne issue 4. Who's writing this one? This is Laura Marks. You got Kelly Jones on here and Michelle Madsen. Daphne Byrne is okay. I think that this issue finally gives us a big advancement in the plot. There's something that's been going on with the mother character, and she's really grieving the loss of her husband, and she's kind of being swindled. So that all gets blown out of the water here, and I think it makes for an interesting boost into this story, right? Let's keep it moving. Let's do something with it. We know Daphne Byrne's being haunted by this spear. She's kind of working with him, but she's also kind of afraid of him. He's kind of showing her the real world, as he calls it. But I think it's just okay. It's not terrible to where I'm going to drop it, but this one was a step in the right direction, so let's pick up the pace a little bit. Speaking of picking up the pace, Plunge issue 3. This is Joe Hill's writing this one. You got art by Stuart Emonin. You got Dave Stewart. This one, we're starting to get like the backbone of what Plunge is going to be about. You know, they were stuck on this island, and all of a sudden you have this crew of zombies that comes out, or they look like zombies. It's hard to really tell, but we get a very magical aspect of what's going on here. And I really enjoyed this issue. I'm excited to see where they're going with Plunge. I really want to see them like what they teased in issue 1. Like there was something in the water. Like even like the sea life was becoming like, I don't know if it's zombified or mutated or something. But there's some supernatural stuff going on here, and I'm digging it. All right, so next up, we have the conclusion of the Dollhouse Family, issue number 6, epic conclusion. And I want to compare everything to Berserk because that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm absolutely in love with it. But it was like Berserk level epicness with like the origins of the house and where it came from and why we saw it kind of grow from a placenta in one of the previous issues. And the final battle was dope. I think they wrapped it up pretty well, even though it kind of felt like I would have liked to see this go on for more than 6 issues. I was surprised when I looked at Previews World and it said issue 6 of 6. But they wrapped it up in a nice little bow and kind of left it open to where they can do a follow-up. So I recommend Dollhouse Family. I think it's probably my favorite run out of the entire Hill House stuff coming out of DC Black Label. Oh, and I didn't say this is written by M.R. Carey. You got Peter Gross, Vince Locke, and Chris Peter is the creative team on here. I don't want you guys to see my pick of the week. All right, then we have another conclusion of their flagship title, I would consider, at least the first one, Basket Full of Heads, issue 7. We finally get an explanation of why this axe is able to cut off people's heads or cut them up and keep them alive. Kind of like a quick little explanation. You get more of a revelation of what was going on with our main character. I forget her name. I read so many books. With her boyfriend, and was he really doing something wrong or wasn't he? You know, it's kind of depends who you ask, I guess. But, you know, it was kind of more of a wrapping up of that story and not so much that supernatural aspect of this tale. So, would I recommend Basket Full of Heads? Yeah, I mean, if it comes out in a trade, it's a quick 7 issues. It couldn't hurt. It wasn't my favorite, but I thought it was okay. All right, guys, as always, we have my pick of the week, and it's the first time this title was ever my pick of the week, and I'm so shocked. It's the Low Woods. This is issue 3. Oh, I forgot about this, guys. Joe Hill is the writer on Basket Full of Heads, and he got art by, Leah Max and Dave Stewart. Sorry. Anyway, pick of the week, Low Woods, issue 3. This is Carmen Maria Machado, Danny Tamaro Bonvillain. Anyway, I'm sorry, issue 5. This was my pick of the week. So we get the origin story of this young girl who's a witch, and we get her origin, and it's mind-blowing. It could be a movie in itself. This issue can be a movie, and it gives us not only the origin of this young witch, but it gives us the origin of why this town is so messed up. Why are there animal-type creatures lurking around? Why are there skinless men running around? Why is there a girl laying in bed with a vortex going down to hell? It's all explained here, and the explanation is awesome. I don't really want to spoil it. Pick of the week. I like this run. I don't think this is the end, so, man, I hope they continue this, man. Low Woods, I mean, this issue was really strong. And that's it for today, man. This is the return of the new Comic Book Day reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to know what your favorite book was down in the comments below. Make sure that you're subscribed to this channel with notification bells on. If the bell doesn't work, just check in at around 11 a.m. Eastern every morning for that new video. Like I said, new Comic Book Day reviews will continue every Wednesday. And that SpiderManBooth.com has that ASM 301 reprint in the current mystery box, so make sure to use GemMint at checkout to save you $10. And that's it, man. Thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.